What's up you guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I refresh my client's balayage. So if you guys are interested, definitely keep watching. Here is her hair before. As you can see, it's pretty warm and grown out, so we're just going to be bringing it up some and brightening it up. I start out by getting horizontal sections at the bottom of her hair, and I weave out what I'm going to lighten. Then with my comb, I will back comb the section, clip it, and then I will apply the lightener. Sometimes their hair will hold the back comb good and you don't have to clip it, but in this case I clipped it because her hair was pretty soft and I felt like it would slip out of the back comb if I didn't clip it. For applying the lightness, I start by applying it in the middle, and then I will feather it up kind of in a V or in a W, so that way it's not such a harsh line. Because with the balayage you want everything to blend very nicely. You don't want there to be any type of lines or anything like that, which the back comb also will help with that. So the back comb and feathering it up and how I do it kind of like in a W, all of that helps give it a nice blend. For the bottom of her head, I did do 3 back-to-back horizontal sections, and then I started to section kind of in a V, so you guys can see me right here. I get 2 sections on both sides of her head, but instead of them being horizontal, they're kind of slanted. That's going to help give it a nice blend also. I also focused the lightener more on the side that's closer to her face, which is the side that's higher up also, so you guys can see me kind of feathering it up more on that side. You guys can see I'm leaving out some of her ends from the foil. That's because I feel like her ends are light enough that they don't need to be processed with bleach for another 45 minutes or however long I'm going to leave the bleach on. Always make sure the hair can withstand the bleach service, because you definitely don't want to damage their hair at all. And there I am again. You guys can see how I section that. I do 2 rows of sections like that, or sectionings like that. I don't know how you say that. I hope you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about, where the section is not horizontal anymore, but it's not vertical, it's kind of slanted, leaving the middle kind of like a V or a triangle. After I do 2 rows like that, I will grab the middle section, and I won't lighten it up as high. Then I'll continue to do the slanted sections on both sides of her head. And I do 2 rows of them slanted, and I'll do 1 in the middle where that like triangle's left, and then I'll do 2 more rows, and I keep doing that all the way until I get to the top of the head. The bleach I'm using for this surface is Flash Lift by Redken. I believe I started with 15 volume, and towards the end I went up to 20. And the brush that I'm using is from Framer. I actually really like this brush. I feel like it helps apply the color really well, and it gets good saturation, and it's also easy to feather it up. So definitely my go-to for when I'm doing balayages. This bleach is really nice too because it already has a bonder inside, so that protects the integrity of the hair. Of course, you can add an extra bonder if you want extra protection. That's always recommended, but you don't have to since the bleach does already carry a bonder. Once I get to the top triangle section that is left, I just try to make sure to feather that up really good, since this is what is going to be laying on top. So you always want to make sure that it has a nice blend. So I just make sure to do not anything different, but just to really make sure that it looks good and that it's going to blend nicely. So always keep that in mind for the pieces that are laying on top. Those are the pieces that everybody's going to see, so those are a little bit more important than maybe like what's underneath. You know, people aren't going to see those as much, so just try to focus like really where you're going to see those important pieces. I was honestly thinking about not posting this just because it's an old video and I kind of forgot about it, but after I found it, I watched it and I actually really liked the outcome, and I feel like it's a good video for anybody that's learning how to do a balayage. This is a really easy technique to follow. And the good thing with hair color is that you can customize it for anybody. So for example, you could do this exact same technique on somebody that wanted to go super blonde by grabbing smaller subsections, which means that you would lighten more pieces, which would give them an overall lighter appearance. So same thing if somebody wanted the lightness pretty close to their roots, you would just bring the lightness up even higher. So that's what's really nice about this technique, is that you can customize it to everybody's wants and needs. I don't remember exactly what I toned her with because, like I said, this is an older video, but I know I use Shades EQ, so hopefully in my future color videos I write down what colors I use so that I can tell you guys. But after I toned her, I brought her back to my chair and we blow dried it and straightened it. Prior to blow drying though, I always spray the Kenra blow dry spray, and I always use a heat protectant before I straighten it, because you want to make sure the hair is staying as healthy as possible. And here is her hair after. You guys can see how nice and blended it looks by doing this technique. I really like this method. Definitely a go-to for when I'm doing balayage. And like I said, it can be customized to everybody's wants and needs. The back comb really gives it a nice blend, and then feathering up that lightener gives it a soft grown out look, but not too grown out, you know, just like from their natural dark to blonde with a soft blend. You guys can see I did bring up that lightener a little bit closer to her face just so that she could feel nice and bright. And here it is in outside lighting. Personally, I love using natural outside lighting for pictures. I feel like it gives it such a nice bright look. You guys can see how pretty it looks. Nice and blended, nice and bright. If you guys watched until the end, thank you so much. It means so much for real. If you enjoyed, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see my future videos. Thank you. Bye.